I'm going to call it time of death. July 7th, 2021, 9:20 a.m. Assassin's Creed is dead. I'm just being dramatic. Hi, everybody. This is Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw, and Assassin's Creed is now a live service game. Even though it kind of was becoming a live service game, now it's becoming a live service game in more ways than just tons of microtransactions and a evolving world and XP boosters and all the wonderful things that are done with the gamer in mind. Ubisoft is now sort of making their Elder Scrolls Online, their Fallout 76, their Assassin's Creed Infinity. I'll take you over to the article by Captain Crunch himself, Jason Schreier, where we can read a little bit more about this, and then Ubisoft's response, people's response to it, and my thoughts as we go. You know, it's tough. I'll start by saying Assassin's Creed is such an interesting franchise because there are certain titles I love and certain titles that didn't work for me at all. I think the most fun I ever had with Assassin's Creed was Black Flag, and then I really liked Odyssey. I kind of liked Origin. I did not enjoy Valhalla much at all. So the joke I made earlier about Assassin's Creed being dead, that's obviously personal preference, as is anything in life. When someone says, me personally, yeah, we know you're the one speaking, Jake. So I am not excited about this. I would like Assassin's Creed to be more single-player focused, but I recognize these companies are trying to make a ton of money, and Grand Theft Auto has made $1 billion, so everyone wants to chase Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite, and I know they did really, really well with Rainbow Six Siege, so I think they're thinking, well, people like Assassin's Creed, how do we make that world make more money? That's the cynical side of it. But there is a vision of this world that's kind of beautiful, I think. For me, games never get there when they go into this live service model. It's not how I love to play, but I recognize a lot of people clearly do, or they wouldn't be making them. Let's take a look at this article. Again, from Jason Schreier, Ubisoft plans Assassin's Creed live online game service. The Assassin's Creed Infinity project seeks to emulate the prolonged financial success of GTA 5 and Fortnite. Well, that's why I said GTA 5 and Fortnite earlier. This article wormed its way into my brain, and then I just copied it. Isn't that fun? Assassin's Creed, a video game franchise set in huge worlds where each one can take hundreds of hours to complete, is getting even bigger. A new project, which is known inside Ubisoft Entertainment by codename Assassin's Creed Infinity, set out to create a massive online platform that evolves over time, according to people familiar with its development. I recognize that people are paying for things, but it's interesting. Just because people are paying for them doesn't mean they like them. It's weird. I've paid for games on my phone, and sometimes you think, I can't believe this game is $70. And then on my phone, I gave a nothing game like $10, so it would remove ads or something like that. So it's weird to criticize a move like this when we are supporting it financially. We're giving a bunch of money to this deadbeat guy who lives with us, and he's always coming home and he's drinking it all away, and we're like, I can't believe that he keeps doing it, but we keep giving him the money. Why does this deadbeat guy live with us? Who is this guy? Why do I keep giving him all my money? Whereas previous Assassin's Creed games each unfolded in specific historical settings, such as ancient Greece or Ptolemaic Egypt. Sorry, didn't expect that word. Don't know how to say it. Infinity will contain multiple settings with room to expand to others in the months and years following its debut, said the people who asked not to be identified discussing a project under development. Individual games on the platform might look and feel different, but they will all be connected. So imagine this. Imagine the beautiful possibility of this world where they drop you into Assassin's Creed and the game plays exactly how you want. all the microtransactions and XP boosters and all that, they don't feel intrusive. They're not here. They're far, far away. And you're just playing a really awesome Assassin's Creed game, whatever your favorite one is, a really awesome Assassin's Creed game. And then the world starts to evolve and you find this whole new area open with all these quests and things to explore. That's not my experience with these games. That's not my experience with live service games in general. I feel like I kind of play live service games the way I play single player games, and then I hit that wall where now I've got to start grinding for sun or whatever. I'm kind of referring to Destiny right now, but once I kind of hit the grind of it, I really pull back. He talks about the Me Too allegations that Ubisoft faced, and I don't want to say that they aren't serious, but they're not the point of this video I'm making right now. Ubisoft has released a new game in the popular action-adventure series every year or two. Collectively, the Assassin's Creed games have sold more than 155 million units. That's a lot. That's a little more than the people who watch my videos. Slightly more. I think my last video had 140 million views. Easily making it the biggest franchise for the French publisher. The plan to turn Assassin's Creed into a so-called service games follow a trend employed by other big publishers. You know, all this really makes me think is you got to keep voting with your dollar. I'm sure it's a term you've heard before, but if you don't like this, which I don't love it, you can't support it. So you can't buy it, okay? And then you've got to buy things that you do want to see more of, as crazy as that sounds. It's unfortunate, though, because let's say you're a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Well, you don't really have a choice, do you? No one else is making Assassin's Creed. Or let's say you're a huge Pokemon fan, and you see what they're doing with newer Pokemon games. You don't like the direction they're going, but you sure do want to play more Pokemon. Well, you don't really have another choice. No one else is making a Pokemon game except that one where everyone has guns that looks absolutely insane. This article talks about how GTA 5 made $800 trillion and their stock went way up. Okay, let's head over to Ubisoft. They have an update for this. And I think there was an interesting moment in here that I just wanted to read. Where was it? Where was it? Is it here? This change means we're also evolving along with the video game industry. The pandemic and working from home have fundamentally changed the way we produce games, giving us a moment to reflect on our organization. Basically, they're like, hey, we kind of want to make some more money here. You know, sitting at home, I really wanted to make a little more money. And we've got a plan to do it. Let's see. Rather than continuing to pass the baton from game to game, we profoundly believe this is an opportunity for one of Ubisoft's most beloved franchises to evolve in a more integrated and collaborative manner that's less centered on studios and more focused on talent and leadership no matter where they are within Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, I can never remember. Most importantly, Assassin's Creed has always been developed by multicultural teams with various backgrounds and perspectives that have influenced the depiction of its characters, locations, and cultures. While we know there's always room for improvement, we believe this new structure allows us to ensure that diversity and representation within our teams continues to grow and match that of our players. Okay. I'm not saying this is a bad statement, but it feels like disconnected from what I would like to find out about, which is how they are designing this world. I think the big moment that I'm really looking for is this: rather than continuing to pass the baton from game to game, we believe this is an opportunity to evolve in a more integrated and collaborative manner, which, read in a cynical fashion, would just lead you to believe that we're going to take this framework of Assassin's Creed and we are going to drive it into the ground. We're going to keep going and going and going with the same stuff we've created. The game is going to look like Elder Scrolls Online, which, hey, that's up to you if you think that looks good. Maybe you think that's a very cool looking game. I would slightly disagree. And let's head on over to Twitter to see what people think about it. Man, of all this negativity just further proves to me that gamers, not the studios and publishers, are the biggest threat to the future of the industry. Our critic culture needs to die. You know, it's weird to me. I could talk about this for a moment. It's weird to me that people online are not allowed to criticize game developers. I always want to make a distinction between harassment and criticizing something. I don't even think you need to. People know what I'm talking about. You're allowed to say, I don't enjoy this. That's a fair critique. These are places asking you for money, and you're allowed to go, hey, I don't like this. I'm not asking you for any money when you're watching this video, but you're free to tell me you don't like it. Sure would like you to tell me you did like it. But everyone is allowed to say, hey, Jake, this isn't good. I don't like this. People are free to do that. I understand when it gets overbearing. I do. I don't think people need to try to, I don't know, be awful or nasty or something like that. But you're allowed to say, this isn't good. I don't like this. Anyway, this response, gamers didn't ask for XP boosters. Gamers didn't ask for tons and tons of microtransactions. Didn't ask for leveling to be throttled. Didn't ask for buggy, broken releases. All this is true. Gamers aren't the problem. Studios are. Their greed and insensitivity towards players is. You know, it's an interesting relationship. There's a symbiotic relationship there between gamers and between studios. Recently, there's been kind of a bizarre white knighting of people to defend developers. Just because a small amount of gamers are kind of awful people doesn't mean we have to defend decisions we don't like. I don't know. That's just my take. No, I'll continue to buy single-player AC games. They're not making those anymore, pal. There hasn't been a true AC game since AC3. Okay, interesting. Valhalla was so boring, I'll probably never buy AC again. I also thought Valhalla was quite boring. I was really disappointed with Valhalla, but I was planning on playing more Assassin's Creed. Totally the wrong choice. Live service will make this GTA Online and even more monetary based. Yeah. Live service, really? Haven't you learned yet? Well, they're trying to make money. I mean, yeah. This person responds, learned. Rainbow Six Siege is one of their most successful products, as in one of the biggest live service games out there. Valhalla is already a live service game. Yeah, this is all true. See a lot of people disliking the live service, and I'm not sure why. It's just more content. As long as it still has a traditional storyline, then it's fine. My biggest issue with Assassin's Creed is, and where it's going, is the transition from Assassin to... I don't agree that a live service means more content. It means more content. I don't agree that that means better content, more of what people want, I guess I should say. You have a live service game, and then you have a game like, let's say, God of War, the most recent God of War release for PlayStation. I would happily play a ton of that single-player God of War and none of a live service God of War situation. Again, me personally. I'm sure a lot of people disagree. Although, as I was scrolling through the Twitter comments here, it seemed like the thoughts on this were mixed, but I'd say pretty negative. Which, look, I understand. I kind of echo that sentiment a bit. All right. Back to just my face. So do I really think that Assassin's Creed is dead because of this? No. In fact, it's probably going to make an absurd amount of money. But I do think for me, this is just, one of those choices that I am bummed to see. I don't want to play Fallout 76. I don't want to play Elder Scrolls Online. I want to play... With those two examples, I want to play a new Fallout game. I want to play Elder Scrolls 6, but that's how it goes. It's what we're spending money on. And people have to recognize that if we want things to be different, we have to spend money on the things that we want more of, and we have to spend zero money on the things we want less of. So I think for some people, this is going to be awesome. For me, I would have to have a lot of people tell me to check this out, that it's really, really good. But I think, unfortunately, this is just a game that is going to miss me. I'm Neo. And if I knew how to edit and make things look cool, I would have Assassin's Creed games flying by me as I went back. But instead, I just did that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. I love you. I will see you next time. Goodbye. Mwah.